everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for another video. Today I have a set of tags to share with you using Gina K Designs and Simon Says Stamps exclusive Nordic Christmas stamp and coordinating die set. This beautiful set is perfect for creating holiday projects, and I'm always in the need of tags at this time of year, so I wanted to create a set of them and show you how I use this adorable Nordic Christmas set to create them. The technique that I'm going to be featuring in today's video is foiling on top of heat embossing, and I saw this technique done by Gina herself over on her YouTube channel. I'll link down in the video description to Gina's video so you can check it out. It was a live stream that she had done and I caught the replay. Such a cool idea for taking your heat embossed images and then putting foil on top of them. Now, it works really well for a more solid stamped image like this, or like when Gina demonstrated it, she used a large solid leaf. So the image is not going to come out exactly like it looks on the stamping because you're not going to grab as much of that image with the foil. However, it still creates a stunning look. And so you can play around with different types of stamps in your collection to see how they perform with this technique. So for this, we're going to use Deco foil from Therm and Gina K Designs, and also Gina K's new fuse machine. So let's jump on in. Here's a look at the Nordic Christmas stamp set and the coordinating dies. You can get this set for a limited time only at Simon Says Stamp with purchases of $50 or more of Gina K Designs products. So this is a limited edition set. You can't purchase it. It's a free gift with Gina K Designs branded purchases over at Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to stamp my Nordic Christmas tree onto some cardstock. I'm going to stamp it on quite a few different colors, but we're going to start first with red, and I'm going to use my clear embossing ink from Simon Says Stamp to stamp this down. I did prep the surface of my paper with a Simon Says Stamp powder tool prior to stamping, just so that way when I stamp this image, the embossing powder is only going to stick to the stamped areas. Now I'm going to use clear embossing powder for this. That's what Gina used in her videos. So I'm just following along with the same techniques and products that she used. So clear embossing ink is what I used for this. I'm going to take my heat tool now and set that embossing powder, because you do want this completely set before you run it through your fuse machine with the foil. I like to heat the back side of my paper first prior to bringing it to the front. It's something I do all the time. It helps minimize the warping of my cardstock, and it also, to me, feels like it puts a better finish on my embossed image. So this is just something I like to do when I'm embossing. All right, so I'm going to bring in some foil here. This is Gina K Designs and Therm foil. This is one of the star foils that she has. It's gold and it's so festive for the holidays. I'm going to trim this down so it's about the same size as my cardstock. We want to make sure it covers our stamped image completely. And then this was something else Gina did in her video. She took a Swiffer and wiped off any static or pieces of dust and whatnot that might be on the back side of the foil. I've never done that before and I've never had any trouble foiling, but for this particular technique, I wanted to make sure I followed along with everything that Gina had done. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I do that before putting it into the carrier sheet that comes with the fuse, and I have my fuse set to 1. Gina specified that sometimes 1 or 2 works best. I found for my results, the 2 was actually better, but I'm going to show you what happened when I did it with on number 1. So I ran this through and I pulled it out, peeled off the foil to reveal my design, which is gorgeous, but there are a couple spots that it didn't foil perfectly, especially in the middle. So I felt like I needed some more heat for this. So I'm going to actually run this through again with a couple more pieces of foil just to make sure that I get the best foiled results that I can. So this one didn't turn out as good as all of the others. When I used heat setting number 2 for the other foiling, I got much better results. So here I was able to clean it up just a little bit and it does look super pretty. But again, this one's not as perfect as all the other ones turned out. All right, so I'm going to show you now how I foiled the rest of them. I used other foils from Therm and or Gina. So these are some foils from Therm. I love these two. They're green and teal, but they have a slight holographic feel to them. And I have all of these linked below in the video description so you can find them. I'm going to use heat setting number 2 now on these, just so that way I get the best heat results from my machine. So this worked out really well for me. I'm going to lay my foil inside of my carrier sheet, and I always put the pretty side of the foil up. You want the silver side facing onto the image that you're foiling. And then again, I'm going to run this through my machine to reveal that beautiful foiled results. And check this out. This is so stunning. I love it. It's such a beautiful finish on these stamped images and gives you a completely different look that heat embossing or stamping just wouldn't do. Here's another one I did onto some sea glass cardstock. I used that teal foil. And then finally from the navy blue, I picked out some silver from Gina K Designs, and this one's going to get run through the machine as well. While I'm waiting for that one to finish up, I'm going to start die cutting, just because I'm trying to make multiples and I like to work in stages. So I did all my stamping at once. Here I've done all my foiling, and now I'm ready to move on to all of my die cutting. So I'm going to take the coordinating die that works with this stamp set, and I'm going to line this up over my images. I'm using very, very low tack tape to hold them in place, and that's going to allow me to run this through my die cut machine and get the perfect little tree cut out of it. Now I do want to show you how the blue one turned out. Check out how the silver just looks so elegant on this project. I think these are just beautiful. So I cut all my trees out, and so they're ready to be turned into tags. You could actually turn these into shaped Christmas tree tags. Just punch a hole in the top and they could be a darling little tag on their own. But I'm going to put them onto some metallic backgrounds that I'm going to also emboss within a folder. So I'm going to take this large rounded standard tag from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm going to cut it from different colors of Simon Says Stamp metallic cardstocks. I've got rich red, metallic silver. I'm also going to use champagne and matte gold. And these look so lovely with the foiled trees. And for the embossing, I'm going to pull in this lovely snowflake embossing folder. This background is so pretty, and the scattering of little snowflakes just looks so adorable behind the trees. I was trying to pull in some of that snowflake texture that we have on the trees, and this was the perfect way to do that. Check out how the metallic cardstock takes the foil. It just looks so dramatic. And that'll look really pretty behind each one of these. So I'm going to coordinate the colors of my metallic papers with the trees. So here I'm trying to decide which ones I want where. So I decided I definitely love the silver and the dark blue together. Green and red looked really nice. And now I'm finally trying to decide what to do with the red and teal. And here I love how the red looks on the champagne and the gold sets off the teal. So I'm going to attach my trees onto my tags with foam squares just because I want them to be a little bit more dimensional than the tag itself. And that's also something I love about making tags, is that I can make these as dimensional as I want because I don't have to worry about putting the tags in an envelope to mail. Unlike a card where we kind of have some issues with putting them into a standard envelope and they get too bulky and then you have to move on to more of a specialized envelope. I love that tags, I can go crazy with the dimension. So here we are, they're looking fantastic with the shine of the metallic cardstock and then the foil. These are just so shiny and beautiful for the holidays. I'm going to stamp some sentiments from the Nordic Christmas stamp set onto some cardstock that coordinates with the colors of each tree. So I have teal and also some dark blue that'll go on the teal and dark blue trees. I'm stamping two sentiments at the same time just to save a little bit of time. This is a great assembly line process. I'm going to heat emboss them, however, in two different colors of embossing powders. So for the teal one, I used gold, and then for the navy blue, I'm going to use silver, and then I'm going to heat set these at the same time as well. Then I'll move on to the second batch, which are going to be the red and green cardstocks. By working in this way, it's saving me a lot of time to not have to break out every single supply all the time. Instead, while I have that one supply out, I can do multiples all at once. So here I'm bringing in the red and green, gonna do the exact same thing, stamp them onto the cardstock with the embossing ink, and then for these two, I actually chose cream embossing powder for both. I liked how the cream looked with these two darker colored cardstocks. So now I have the coordinating dies for the sentiments. I love that there are dies for the sentiments. I'm going to run these through my die cut machine, and I'll hold them down with very, very low tack tape from Simon Says Stamp to make sure that they don't shift as I run them through. These are going to get adhered onto my tags using foam strips. These are thin little foam strips from Simon that are perfect for putting behind skinny little pieces like this. And so the sentiments I'm going to layer up right along the bottom half of the tree, and that looks so beautiful. The fact that we stamped these onto the same colored cardstock as our foiled trees allows the sentiment to kind of get blacked out behind the stamping and blend in with the cardstock that it's sitting on top of, but the sentiment still stands out because we have that nice solid color surrounding it. I'm going to embellish my trees very simply with a cute little gumdrop heart from Rainbow Splash. These little heart stickers are so cute, and they come in a variety of colors on this one sheet. I'm going to use the red, the champagne, and also the clear ones to decorate my tags. These I thought would fill in that little heart at the bottom of the tree really nicely and add a small embellishment. So nothing too crazy, but just enough to catch your eye. So these tags are looking so good. We just basically need to add some ribbon to the top and we're gonna be done. But before I do that, I do wanna cover the backside of my tags with a plain white tag. That way I can write on it much more easily. With this embossing on detail on the backside, it's gonna make it a lot harder for me to write on it. So we wanna cut one that is plain and made from white cardstock, so it's really easy to be able to write the to and from on the back. So I'm going to attach my white tags that I've die cut with the same rounded standard tag, and I'm just going to use some Terrific tape from Simon Says Stamp to attach these two pieces together. And I'm going to do this exact same thing to all of my tags because I want all of them to have that nice white surface on the back. By the way, these tags would make a really great gift for someone too. They coordinate so nicely together that I think it would be a really nice treat to be able to make a whole bunch and then gift it to someone as a little holiday surprise. So here I'm ready to add some trimming to my tags. I'm bringing in some festive ribbons that I had in my stash. I picked out colors that I thought would complement the colors of the tree and the background. So I'm not picking the exact same colors. I want something that's slightly different so that way it will be a contrasting element. So here I used a light teal with the navy and silver, but then I'm going to tie it to my tag with a bit of silver cording. That silver cording ties everything together nicely, but then that pop of teal adds a bit of contrast to our tag. And I did that for all of my tags. So as you can see here, they each feature a pretty color of ribbon that complements the background and the trees, but then it has a nice little bit of twine or cording to attach them to the tag. And that's gonna do it. Check out how the foiling of the Nordic Christmas tree just looks so elegant. It catches the light beautifully. These will look so pretty on top of your Christmas gifts. So I hope you'll try this idea out. I had so much fun experimenting with it and playing around. Like I said, I had to figure out the best heat setting for my machine, so I found a number 2 setting on the fuse worked really well for me. But I think this was a really fun technique, and I was so excited that I got to try Gina's idea with a product from her brand. So I really enjoyed creating this project, and I hope you were inspired. Don't forget you should check out Gina's video too. Again, I have it linked below in the video description for you to check out. Thank you so much for stopping by and spending time with me today. If you want to get the Nordic Christmas set, like I said, you do have to make a purchase of $50 or more over at Simon Says Stamp, and then you can get that as a free gift with your order. It comes with the coordinating dies, which is amazing, and this is a really valuable free gift. So it's a great offer from Simon Says Stamp for a limited time only, so be sure to check it out. Thanks again for stopping by. I will be back soon with more to share with you all, but until then, I hope you have a wonderful day.